Hello everyone, welcome to another episode, and today I'm going to take my garlic, which I pulled some weeks ago and hung here in my woodshed, and it has dried down nicely. I'm going to take it, cut the bulbs and the roots away and clean away the outside wrappers so that I have some nice garlic bulbs to put in net bags and store in the house. So I want to show you here what they look like as they're hanging in the woodshed. They've been here a few weeks. Just tied string around a bunch of them and let them hang in the shelter. There's air and all getting to, getting around them, but no rain falling on them. So they've dried down nicely. Before I begin, I'll show you my makeshift garlic processing station that I've set up here. I've got my vintage Jackson garden wheelbarrow with all the dried down garlic bulbs, and next to that I have my whiz-bang garden cart, homemade whiz-bang garden cart. I've published plans for making one of these. Did this several years ago, the plans and the cart. And on top of the cart I have a bandsaw. One of the nice things about the whiz-bang garden cart is you can lay a board across and have a temporary work station, a work table. This bandsaw is one I bought for my children when they were younger, and I wanted them to learn and be comfortable with woodworking. So I gave them scraps of wood and this bandsaw and a few other basic tools, and they got comfortable with tools and wood, and it was a good thing. But this is not a particularly good quality tool for woodworking. It's kind of a cheapo, but it does work very well, as you'll see, for separating garlic stems and roots from the bulbs. And then the other thing I want to show you here is my whiz-bang wood and wire garden tote. This is a garden tote that I designed several years ago. I give plans for making this, specifications, in my Planet Whiz-Bang idea book for gardeners. This particular tote has been used for many years. You can see, get an idea there how it's made. The exact specifications, like I said, are in my book. This has been in use for a lot of years. It's a very handy tool to have on the homestead if you're a gardener, especially because it's almost like a colander. You can put your vegetables in there and hose them down, and with the standoff legs here, you have airflow all around the basket. Okay, so all right, let's see how this bandsaw works. So that gives you an idea of how nicely the bandsaw works to get the roots off, get the tops separated. You can see they've dried down. They could use a little more drying down, of course, but in years past, when I did not have a bandsaw, I would use these big snips, which work very well. However, if you have thousands of garlic bulbs to process like I once did, those snips become a source of sore hands. So I'm going to get all of these cut like I've just showed you, and then I'll show you how I use a toothbrush to get the outer wrappers off, the dirty outer wrappers. Okay? Mission accomplished. Everything has been processed here with the bandsaw. I'll show you what a nicely trimmed root looks like right there, and what happens if you try to trim too close. I scalped that clove. That's a bummer. And one bulb I should say, was kind of mushy, and so I tore it apart, and it's got issues. Fortunately, it was only one. I will take this all apart and see if we can use those fresh, but that isn't going to keep. You want these necks to be dried right down a woody stem. All right, now here I'm all set up for the next step in the process. I have a stool and a toothbrush, and I have my wood and wire whiz-bang garden tote full of garlic bulbs. You can see that they're kind of dirty, the outer wrappers. I'm going to clean them up. It's not necessary to clean them up. A lot of people store their garlic just like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I do like the look of a clean bulb. And I used to sell garlic bulbs, so if you're going to do that, you want them to be clean. They have a higher perceived value if they're clean. So I'll be cleaning them from that tote and putting them into this tote. Now, in the description below, I'll put a link to where you can purchase the specifications for this tote. I sell a PDF specifications quite inexpensively, or you can buy the whole book, the Planet Whiz-Bang Idea Book for Gardeners, and get all kinds of ideas and specifications. Okay, here I am with my toothbrush, and I'm going to pick out one of these dirty garlic bulbs, and I'm going to show you how I make it a clean garlic bulb. You can take the loose outer layers off like this and call that good enough, or you can pinch into the neck here and get another layer or two. We'll just take one here. Use the toothbrush like so to get underneath that paper and get it loose. Feel it down to the roots there. If you've got any extra roots there, you can pull those off. There you go. That's cleaner. We could go another layer. I harvested these early enough that I have several good paper layers on them. A lot of people leave their garlic in the ground too long before harvesting, and these paper layers they aren't there. They kind of rot away before you even pull the garlic bulb up. So I learned years ago, you get these out of the ground relatively early, and you'll have lots of paper layers. So anyway, there we go. That's a cleaned off garlic bulb. I'll do one more here, that's more exemplary of what I have this year, and that is a lot of bulbs that are on the smaller side. I've grown some really large garlic bulbs in past years, but this year they tend to be smaller. I'm not sure why. The plants were very healthy. There's a nice clean bulb. Some people cut the necks down real low here. I like to leave a handle on, like you see there. But yeah, there's a large bulb and a smaller bulb. They taste the same. One's more impressive than the other, but they're both beautiful. And that's how you take bulbs that are, kind of dirty, and you make them nice and clean and more pleasing to the eye. I want to tell you about one more thing before you go, and that is this book, Making Great Garlic Powder. Homegrown and Homemade Secrets from a Garlic Powder Guru. That's me. I wrote this book quite a few years ago. It was, let me look, 2003. And back then, I used to grow a lot of garlic, and I used to make Herrick's Homegrown Garlic Powder. Herrick's Homegrown Stiff-Neck Garlic Powder, because these are stiff-neck garlics that I'm growing. And so this book is no longer in print, but you can get a PDF, an inexpensive PDF copy, and I'll put a link below to where you can find that. And the book tells you everything you need to know to grow great garlic and make great garlic powder. And if you've never had your own homemade garlic powder, you're in for quite a treat, because it's nothing like the store-bought. It's something very special. Now, I recently gave permission to reprint this book and sell it and keep the profits to the Garlic Seed Foundation, and I think they're going to reprint it. I hope they will, and so hard copies will be available then. But for now, you can get the PDF, and I hope you will. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching.